can Iran and the E3 nation capitalize on this week's talks to revive stalled nuclear negotiations?
Well, this is a good opportunity. Each time you have a possibility to talk, you could build a way out. We have to recall that France, Germany, as part of the European Union, and the UK now, are part of the deal of the convention of the treaty made with Iran. Plus, you have Russia, China, and the US. US has withdrawn since the Trump administration won, and the others remained. Iran has refused to continue the talks in a serious manner at the time. Now, they are coming back to the table of negotiations, and before talking to the E3 members, that means Germany, UK, and France, the Iranian has made talks with Russia and China to prepare these talks and to have a support for these talks. So this is a good opportunity because even if the US has withdrawn, the other parties remained in the agreement. The agreement was not cancelled. The agreement is, there is nobody who has withdrawn or cancelled this agreement or said that they will not recognize it. So if Iran now will give the guarantees provided for in the 2015 agreement, the talks could be constructive.
Sir, what specific concessions or compromises might Iran and the E3 make to revive the stalled nuclear deal in light, of course, of the statements made by the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who said that this time it will not be the same like last time and that the negotiations will be, Iran will not give any concessions at this point, or they're not going to be as easy, or it's not going to be like last time?
Well, always when you have talks, each party must draw lines, but drawing the lines just to enter into the talks. When you are in the talks, the lines are a matter of negotiation themselves. So it doesn't mean that Iran will not make concessions, and the other parties doesn't mean that they will not make concessions in their turn too. This is the point is very clear here. Iran is part of this agreement, and Iran is part of the non-proliferation treaty. So Iran has accepted under international law to be to have obligations, and one of the obligations is to leave the International Agency for Control of the Nuclear Energy to inspect its installations. And this is an agreement. So Iran this agreement is binding on Iran. So Iran
will Israel and the United States, or will the United States under the leadership of Donald Trump be okay with the idea that Iran is going to build nuclear facilities again?
The agreement doesn't mean that. The agreement has stated that Iran can develop civil nuclear energy, not military nuclear energy. And Iran had the possibility to support this claim with the other E3 members, with Russia and China. So there is an agreement that Iran will not develop military weapons. Here, it's a very important point. It could lead to a new agreement where the European countries and the UK will not maintain the sanctions on Iran if Iran will allow this inspection, and when the inspection will make it clear that there is no program or there is no any evidence that Iran is developing military nuclear weapons. And then it's very probable that Trump will not go ahead and will accept this, because the Europeans, when they are talking now, and they will be talking to Iran, they are also coordinating with the Trump administration. Then Netanyahu would be isolated in this matter if there is a goodwill to show that there is no development in this. The target is that to have a Middle East free of nuclear weapons. Now, it's regarding Iran. There is another issue, is that Israel is holding a nuclear weapon itself, and it's not part of the non-proliferation treaty. So this is an issue that the international community must handle and look at in a close way.
But of course, sir, Israel has the right, but Iran does not have the right. Sir, the E3 is threatening to trigger the United Nations sanctions snapback mechanism. Are there alternative diplomatic approaches to bring Iran back to talks with the United States again?
Well, first of all, Israel has no right to do that. They did it. They forced the international community, and the international community did not react. But to have a peaceful Middle East, the international community must look at this point, why Israel has the nuclear weapon and how, and it's not right. This is contested by all the countries in the area and around the world. The point is that measures could be taken in this matter if also, and while the international community must give some guarantees to Israel for its security. But this could come into the general settlement with the Palestinian state. Now, how to bring the US and Iran to go together and look at a lift of the sanctions and an agreement on that. If this will succeed, Donald Trump will not oppose it. It's very clear, because the Europeans will obtain from Iran guarantee that there is no development of nuclear weapons. They can negotiate about the conditions of civilian nuclear energy. And all the countries, and this is not forbidden, because all the countries in the world, they are seeking to obtain nuclear energy for civilian needs, for electricity, for power, energy. So this is not contested even by the US. Here, the point is very, very thin. How the guarantees will be given, this go through the inspection channel and process, and there the negotiations, if there is a goodwill, if the negotiations are made in good faith, a solution could be achieved.
Sir, the Trump administration continues to claim that its pre-ceasefire strikes destroyed Iran's nuclear facilities. For Iran, how might these potentially provocative statements hinder efforts to revive nuclear negotiations?
Well, these are just tactics in the talks. We remember that when the talks were to be resumed between Iran and the US in Oman, and there were an escalation, a verbal escalation. But these talks will be decisive between the E3 and Iran. Iran has consulted with China and Russia, and the Europeans are consulting, and the UK are consulting with the US. And Netanyahu cannot interfere in this much. Of course, he will interfere, but it doesn't have a weight. There is now international law, which is very clear, and all the states in the negotiations are willing to respect international law, at least on this level. If they achieve it in good faith, and if the inspection is allowed and the report after the inspection will show that there is no move for Iran to obtain a military nuclear weapon, then the matters will be settled. Of course, Netanyahu doesn't like that, but it could be settled.